Good morning. Welcome to Fasting to Health with Anmaree. For those of you who are along with me on this journey, welcome. Those of you who are new, welcome. Subscribe if you'd like. It's kind of a personal journey. This isn't one of my channels that I'm just sharing my own personal stuff on this one. It's not a making channel that I have. It's Anne-Marie's workshop. And I do book reviews for kids. I sew, craft, do all that kind of stuff on there. But that's a different channel. This is a personal journey. And if you're along for the ride, thank you for subscribing. So today, I was hoping to have my lab results. I was, because I'm fasting to health, very interested in lowering my blood pressure, being off of blood pressure medicine, lowering my A1C. And so I took my dad to the doctor for his checkup, and he had to have lab work last Friday. So I thought, well, let me go ahead and do my lab work just a few days early. Today is Tuesday. Unfortunately, I could not pick up my lab results because Jamaica is still in a lockdown until tomorrow morning in an effort to curb our coronavirus surge. I hope you're not experiencing that. I hope your country or your place is making some progress on it, but we are surging, and we're a small country, so we have to be very, well, no more than anyone else, we have to be very careful. So, to get you up to date, I swore I'd stop scratching my face and doing all those twitches that I usually do during a video, but I am down 18 pounds. I started 8 weeks ago. This is the 8th week. I'm down 18 pounds. My blood pressure is still within the normal range. I'm no longer taking any blood pressure medicine. I do not know about my A1C, as I said. I might have an 8.5 video because I think I can pick up my results tomorrow when the country opens up, and that's when I do all my shopping and scurrying around before I get right back in my hole for another week. Hopefully we'll get released, but we'll see. I do have increased energy. I am needing less sleep. My brain is very, very active. I'm doing better on the days that I eat. I'm broken everything down into smaller meals. The smaller meals they ask you to, according to the pyramid and what USDA recommends, the smaller meals actually do work really well on the days that I am not fasting. But as the research shows, it doesn't necessarily help in the long run. I do not find my metabolism slowed down. I am still losing at a pretty steady rate, and I have to tell you, 2 months in, normally if I was on one of my a regular diet, keto, I've done that. Atkins, I've done that. Low sugar, I've done all. Weight Watchers, I would start to be experiencing the slowdown about a couple weeks ago, but I'm not. It's pretty consistent. Every 2 days, a half a pound. So what's come up for me now? Let me see. I have this sadness while I'm going through this, as the weight is coming off slowly and surely. I have this sadness about this not occurring to me, or it not being revealed to me when my mom was in a position where she could have made these changes. She was not an extremely overweight woman at all. She was not morbidly obese, but she did have that tire in the center of her body. And it's all through that side of my family. We either have people who are this skinny or apple people. I'm an apple person, so all the skinny people live into their 90s and close to 100, and the apple people, we develop diabetes or kidney disease or something like that. So I'm trying to avoid that fate by taking on this alternate day fasting. So I'm sad about my mom suffering. She suffered for 12 years. She had a form of dementia that was attributed to diabetes. It was not Alzheimer's, but it was just as devastating. And I watched a brilliant woman succumb to a disease that she didn't have to do if this had been real to me before. And I'm a very spiritual person, so I am embracing my grace that I happen to be in my sewing studio and look up, and the feed going on my Chromecast from my casting from my phone was about alternate day fasting. Since I told you before, I was already intermittent fasting, but this has just changed everything up. So there's a few things that are going to be coming up for me, kind of unusual things that I have to think about. Is as I approach another 10 pounds, I'm going to have to take on my closet. Now, not only do I love clothes, I sew, and I sew prolifically. So there's quite a bit to go through. I'm going to have to deal with letting some things go because there's a range in my weight where I can still wear the same clothes. There's a range in which I can alter, but where this seems to be going, if this goes where it went in my 20s, none of these clothes, a lot of my clothes aren't, it's not possible to make it there. It's going to have to be a complete reinvention, and that's cool. I sew. I can manage that, but I think I'm a greedy girl, so I'm going to have to emotionally deal with that. So there's my mom. There's the loss of clothes. I'm going to, I figured out I'm going to evaluate the clothes in another 10 pounds. The other 10 pounds after that, I'm going to have to start sewing a lot of new stuff. And I sew a lot of new stuff, but I'm going to need more new stuff. Things like bras, underpants, shoes, believe it or not. That's going to be quite interesting. So, yay, kinda. I'm not exactly sure. Anyway, so I'd like to share with you. Things seem to fall into place in time. Excuse me that I have these on. I had a fight with a rotary cutter, and I had a fight with a knife, and I lost both of them. So I was going through band-aids and everything. They were quite deep, so I'm wearing these. So if you're wondering, or not. I have, during COVID, tried to maintain a relationship with all of my different groups of friends. And I've been blessed enough to have friends of different ages and different stages of parts of my life. My teacher friends, my yoga friends, my friends from elementary school, my friends from middle school. I've been very blessed, high school, everything. So what has happened is, like, I have a set of friends, my dear friends, that I talk with on Monday nights. And, I'll share with you that I'm not shared my fasting with my kids. And Dr. Fung had put up a video recently about people when you share that you're fasting, the feedback, the blowback you get from people. Like, oh, it's not healthy and all this kind of stuff. And I'm going to try and find a way to put it on a card to link it to. So if you need that, you need that information or support, he can give it to you. You can watch it. But my kids haven't picked up on this 20-pound weight, 18-pound weight loss because they're not looking at me like that. But my friends did. And so my dear friend Peggy said, "What's going on with you? You are a lot smaller." And I was like, God love it, Peggy. Anyway, and so we spent our Zoom meeting, and I was sharing it with them. And my friend Lynn shared that she fasts one day a week herself. And we were just going back and forth about what I know about it. And I found that I had to have a stance because I noticed that when I shared, my friends, a few of my friends became defensive on our meeting. And I wasn't trying to be defensive. I was just trying to inform them about what I'm doing. They have their own path. They have their own stuff that they are going to be doing. So I'm going to have to be aware of that as it becomes apparent to people that I'm changing in a physical way and probably an emotional and spiritual way, that it's not a judgment on them. I mean, this is grace. It happened to be on the television. The doctor happened to be stationed in a hospital that my mother worked in, and that in Canada where I lived. How random is that? So, but I do recognize full circle moments. I do recognize grace in my life. I've been gifted many times with my entire life with wonderful things. I am pondering right now, and I'm praying about it and journaling about it. Why now? You think to yourself, this information, these videos are like 2018, 2019. I've skimmed past this several times in my life. Why now? I find it a quandary. So anyway, as I can even see it in my face that I'm changing. Now, I'm still chubby. I'm going to be chubby for at least 40 more pounds. But it's very, very interesting. And I wish you every success with your journey. And those of you who have wrote comments, thank you, because I am kind of doing this on the down low from my family. My dad knows because I live with him, but I do have a big family network, and I've got lots of friends, so it is nice to have someone to share things with. And I guess what my goal is, my long-term goal is, by the time I'd like to be done with this and into maintenance by the time I'm 59. And because that way I would have gone through a few holidays to see how that will work. Dr. Fung says that whatever happens in the holidays happens, and then you just go back to your fasting. I hope so. And so, but I can feel it on me. Like I used to think I was very muscular, but I don't think I was very muscular. I think I'm strong, but I think what I was is inflamed, because now that the inflammation has gone down, even though I work out, I'm a lot mushier than I was before, and I don't think it's protein loss. I think I had a lot of inflammation because my knees no longer hurt. A lot of things don't hurt anymore, so that means I'm not holding on to that water causing discomfort and inflammation. Well, that's it for now. I might do it week 8.5 if my results are ready tomorrow and I have something good to share. But if not, I'll just put it in week 9. Thank you for coming along, and take care of yourself.